edition of the Ramble On Reactions. Sitting next to me with his new t-shirt is Handsome Dan 9.
Sitting next to me with his new t-shirt is Clever Eric Muller.
Ooh, yeah!
They're both wrestling inspired.
I know, I'm so happy.
Man, we're good at this. Mine's more Schmodown, yours is more old school. So, Macho Club.
That's right.
5 Horsemen.
These shirts are incredible.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. Deuces.
So, we both recently saw Incredibles 2.
We did.
Which is fun, and I'll get into it a little bit later, but this is where he would have shamed me. I saw the first Incredibles before it. It was only like a week beforehand. It was
But you still saw it beforehand.
I did. I did see the first one, and then a few days later I went and saw Incredibles 2.
Well, it's perfect, because that's, because the second one picks up literally seconds after the first one.
Which is, I will say, to start, I enjoyed that. Like, you'd think that a 14-year gap between movies, like, you might change the characters, you might do X, you might do Y, and then it's like, nope, this movie ends, this movie's gonna begin.
Nope.
And then it's like, you're thrown right back into it, and it's like, for anyone like me who's very fresh into the world, I'm like, well, this is kind of cool. Like, you could sit down and just watch like 4 hours worth of The Incredibles.
Right, and if you're someone who's watched it before but haven't watched it a week before, it's a nice refresher.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that is how this ended.
Yeah.
So that's where The Incredibles starts, and you're still in the same environment where it's like quasi-futuristic 60s.
Right, it's quasi-future 1960s where the Incredibles...
Sleeker Jetsons, but like not like flying cars and whatnot. So yeah, like that kind of version. But I will tell you, I love that kind of world building.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I like that that's where Brad Bird's head was, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're right back in the world.
Well, it's the Silver Age of comics. That's where he's going.
Yes, I love the music, like, and just the way this world starts, and it starts the same way the first one did, and you're still having outlawed superheroes, so they're doing their best to still do good in the community, but still kind of like ostracized, until they have this big billionaire who's like, I want you to break the law and bring superheroes back. And that's pretty much the story.
Right, we can do it by changing everyone's perception, but we gotta go with Elastigirl. She's the go-to person.
Yeah.
So while she's off having her superhero flick, Mr. Incredible gets to be Mr. Mom for his part of the movie.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good explanation for it. And I think one of the things I really enjoyed about this, it solved a lot of the issues where it's like, I liked the first one, but it's like you kept coming back to their dynamic, and they're just like butting heads and butting heads and butting heads. And then when it gets to this one, like, there's a little bit of that, but it's very much like I feel like they learned each other's roles between Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible, where it's like he totally understands what she was doing and what she was going through, and now she understands like how you have to, like, she's having to put up more bravado than ever before, because she's literally trying to be like, no, look, superheroes are good, see all this good that we're doing. And then there's a lot more that happens in like mid-second to third act, but we're not going to get into that because we're not going to spoil anything. But like, I like that dynamic changed, and they actually, like, the characters grew, even though it was like almost the exact same timeline, maybe a few weeks.
Right, it would be the equivalent of like us understanding each other better over a 2-week period.
Yes, which we do quite frequently.
Yes,
when he's not shaming me.
Whatever, you.
Not shamed for this one.
Nope.
So, other positives for you?
I really like the action sequences. I thought they were a little bit better actually than the first one, especially that train sequence with Elastigirl. That was really cool.
You get to see a lot more of her powers.
Yes. Well, also like the villain, Screen Slayer.
Screen Slaver.
I thought it was Slayer.
No, it's Slaver. So he's like making you, because he's making you. It's like hypnosis, so it's not a spoiler. Yeah. So it's like you're slaves to this screen.
Ooh. But what I liked about the villain was the villain's right. If you think about it, what they're saying is like, yeah, this is true. You're going about it the wrong way, but you're right.
And that's kind of how
you're right.
That's where you get a lot of good villains. Anytime you're able to write a villain where you get, any percentage of the audience going, they have a point.
Yeah.
Like, I've never thought. It's not so much I've never thought about it that way, but it's like, your intentions, like, you're crazy, and the way you're trying to execute this is nuts, but you still have a point on some level.
And, you also got Jack. Jack was...
Oh, my God. That's such a highlight.
The raccoon sequence.
Oh, my God. Dying.
That was probably one of the funniest things I've seen all year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It steals the movie. Just hands down. It is fantastic.
We won't say...
My wife was laughing uncontrollably during that sequence.
I was laughing a lot at that sequence as well. And it's... anyone who's seen it will automatically know what we're talking about. But like they do a great job like expanding him, and he becomes really pivotal too as the movie goes on. So it's great to see the characters grow and really learn from each other. You still get Samuel L. Jackson. He's like a sidekick to the family, which is kind of great.
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Because he's like
ice powers,
and they're you're just getting more Fantastic Four powers throughout everybody, and like lots of X-Men powers popping up for Jack.
Well, since he's technically Franklin Richards, and Franklin Richards has the power to have any power, it's all Fantastic Four.
There you go.
Nerd!
Yep.
Now, let's go with some negatives.
Oh God, were there any negatives? I can't think of any negatives. Tell me something.
Third act's kind of dragged. The plot device that the villain was using was really... The problem is people started being really stupid towards the end, where it's like, oh, there's this device controlling them. We just knocked them out. Let's keep walking. No, you destroy the device that has them controlled, then you keep going, because that's what heroes do. And then also, my other thing I didn't like about this is that I'm getting tired of this Disney trope where it's like, we have the mystery reveal of the villain in the third act.
Sure.
Because they've been going to that well a little bit too much.
Okay.
With this, Big Hero 6, Frozen, Zootopia. They need... Because that's what I really loved about the first Incredibles is Syndrome. You know who he was, you know his purpose, and he was great.
Well, and I will agree with you there, because it's one of those things where it is a simple plot, and where it goes, you're kind of like, yeah, I get it. And it's also one of those things where, like, I kind of figured it out in the, beginning third of the film, because it's like, they only introduced you to so many characters, so if you're paying attention, you're going to figure out who it is. It's not like... It's hard to do a movie like this and introduce a character in a way like they did in the first one with Syndrome, who, like, once it is revealed, like, it's not unheard of, but it's a cool reveal.
Well, not only that, it's like, he's the villain straight up. It's not like, I'm hiding behind something. It's like, this is the villain, you know who I am, let's get down to evil. I am Dr. Doom in this business.
Yeah, for Syndrome. This one, it was a little muddier, and it was a little more... I don't want to say unmotivated, but it was also like here's your villain.
Right, I like I said, the idea of the villain, the execution, I felt.
For those interested too, body count still kind of high.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know Incredibles had a huge body count. This one, there's a building explosion. The whole building just explodes, and they never cover that again. So I don't know, this may be, aside from like WALL-E, where like all of humanity has left the planet, this may be Pixar's like at least biggest series of deaths. So, but I mean, dark. But The Incredibles is kind of towing that line, and this is definitely like a good installment that will add to that franchise, and we'll see where it goes from here. So all that being said, grade this for me.
A-.
I again, my little nitpicks, I'll go A- as well. Like, there wasn't much holding this back from being like a great A movie. So
right, it's just minor things. It could have just worked some things that would have been better, but it's still an amazing film. See it on the biggest screen you can.
Yeah, and that being said, 14 years going by between first story, second story, like nothing, like no time had passed, and very, very well done.
Yes.
So that's it. That's what we thought about Incredibles 2. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you thought about Incredibles 2. I've been hearing people that are like, well, it's not as good as the first one.
Well, of course, it's not going to be as good as the first one.
See, but that's the thing. Having seen both of them fresh in, like, within a week's time. Yeah, like, right now, I kind of prefer the second one just because it's not... The first one feels a little bogged down to me, and it feels like they forced this mini Incredibles review. It feels like they're forcing the argument, so it's like you're kind of forcing the characters where the plot feels of that one more forced. This one feels, to me, more organic, and it's like, this makes sense as far as where the characters should be going.
Strongly disagree, but that's an argument for another time.
Maybe. So, clever Eric Muller sitting right over there.
Handsome Dan and I over there.
As always, ramble on.
Anchors away.